chair.
I know.
Okay, take it away, Bailey.
Okay, cool. Well, Mike Johnson, do you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely.
Let me get my flag up. Hold on. We're at 1 second.
I'm always too fast. I beat the flag.
I know. No, I had it up and then I took it down so that I could do something else. And then I forgot to put it back up. So 1 second, bear with me. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
All right. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Any guests or new members?
Oh, well, we have Danny Kelly. He has a new
Not a guest.
logo above his name. Hi, Danny.
Yes, I'm a member. Hey,
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay, cool. Well, Renee.
Yeah, chamber announcements. Okay, so Chili Cook-Off Week, the restaurant edition is over. Thank you to everybody who participated. We've already gotten a few passports turned in, so make sure you get them into us before the end of the month, and we will do the drawing in early August. We have 12 random drawings for $50, all courtesy of Redwood Capital Bank. And then we'll announce the restaurant that got the most votes, and they'll get a handy dandy trophy and $150, also from Redwood Capital Bank. So thank you again to them. This Friday is Battle of the Badges. Friday at Safeway is where you can go to donate blood and tell them that the Fortuna PD sent you. We want to win this year, so go give some blood. This Wednesday, the 21st, the Fortuna Volunteer Fire Department is having a ribbon cutting and street dedication at the fire station. And that's at 5:30. We'll be there with our scissors. They're going to dedicate the street down by the bypass road that goes to the training facility. Nicholson Way. Sorry, people just walked into my office, so I'm trying to do double duty. Sorry, folks, I'm on a meeting. Yeah, I'm on a meeting. Sorry. And then our July 26th meeting, I've had to reschedule. I have a jury summons and I cannot get out of it, unfortunately. So we're gonna reschedule NAMI Humboldt for August 30th. That'll be in person at the Monday Club. So we will not have a meeting next week, August 2nd. We will be back in person at the Monday Club, and that will be with Florence Parks from the North Coast, Big Brothers Big Sisters. Obviously, Auto Expo is coming up this weekend. Yay, another event, which is exciting. We are doing a raffle for Auto Expo this year. There are 5 items for on display at Strauss Family Shoes. We have the raffle tickets for sale here at the chamber office as well at Strauss. And then I'll be at the registration desk at the high school on Friday selling tickets, and then buzzing around at some of the events this weekend. So if you see me in my very attractive bright orange shirt, find me or anybody with raffle tickets and we can sell you some tickets. They're really cool. Ellis Cleaver refurbishes parking meters and hydrants, and there's even drive-in speakers. Super cool, but it's just a random drawing because we're not having a dance this year. So I think those, and then the cancellation stamp, don't forget, you can go into the post office and get this wonderful cancellation stamp for the rodeo. That'll be available into August, I think August 15th or 16th. You can go in, purchase a stamp, or bring your own stamped envelope in and they'll cancel it for you. And that's all I have. And I'm gonna mute myself and help who's in my office. And Bailey, back to you.
Awesome, thanks.
Oh, I think Mara can talk about city council.
Yeah, so Bailey, am I good to go on a update for the city council meeting tonight? There is a city council meeting tonight at 6 o'clock, and this will also be on the Zoom format. I am hoping that very soon, maybe the next meeting in August, I need to confirm that with our city clerk that we'll be back to in person, but we haven't announced that yet. So just a few things from our agenda. We do have some special presentations tonight, introducing a couple employees, and then we'll have Chief Lon Winburn from the Fortuna Volunteer Fire Protection District and our police chief Casey Day making presentations about from their department. We have a number of routine items on the consent calendar, mostly department reports. And then there's also some updates to the assessment benefit districts all as one item on the consent calendar. There's a few business items. One of them is bringing on a professional forester to help the city with some of the forestry work that we have on our parcel next to the Vansel Reservoir, doing some exemptions and thinning and maybe a little more work in the future. We have a contract with for the anaerobic digester maintenance at the city's wastewater treatment plant, a change order for our fish passage project that we're wrapping up at Jameson Creek, and the acceptance of the Avery Court subdivision. That's another big one that is about done. And the request from the police department for a second canine. They've been doing some fundraising and they feel that they want to expand the canine from 1 to 2, and they have some funding that they think they can get on an ongoing basis to fund that program. And then some modifications to our org chart, moving folks around between water and wastewater divisions, and then also the addition of a janitor. And then we have one closed session item, which is for the expansion of Newburgh Park. If you look at that, it's really dealing with the 8.4 acres directly, I guess it's south from Newburgh Park that the city is trying to purchase from the Eel River Valley Community Foundation. So that's on there. I haven't had a chance to present that to the council yet, and that we are moving forward with that. So that's all I have.
Cool. Thanks, Brett. I guess we're going to hand it over to Mayor Susan Seaman.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I was kind of hoping I was going to get to make a trip down to Fortuna, but I hear you guys are going live next week. So I'm sure you're all looking forward to that. I am here to talk about Lemonade Day. Many of you have heard or seen me talk about it. Some of you, like Becky, have been Lemonade Day VIPs and have visited stands. Some of you, like Danny Kelly, have been sponsors. And it is a really great program. AEDC, Arcade Economic Development Corporation, has been doing for 11 years now. It's our 10th event because last year, for all intents and purposes, got canceled. We did something different. We had a change drive last year since the banks were all begging for change. So we asked kids to change their focus a little bit. But Lemonade Day is a young entrepreneurship driven program. And we have been doing it. Started it the second year that it existed. So it started in Houston. With an entrepreneur there whose kid wanted to buy a turtle. And he said, no, we're not going to buy you a turtle. And she said, what if I make my own money? And he said, if you make your own money, then we can talk about it. So she said, I'm going to have a lemonade stand. And she pulled all the stuff out of the cupboard, you know, the way we used to do it when we were kids, dragged the table to her front yard, and nobody bought any lemonade because she wasn't really in a place where people would buy lemonade. She made a little change, and he said, well, that's not even enough to pay me back for the stuff you used. And he realized that that was a really good opportunity to teach kids about business plans. So that is basically what Lemonade Day is it teaches kids how to run a business by operating a lemonade stand and by going through all of the same processes that an adult would go through when they're starting their own business. And so we have in the past, I'm going to show you, you guys might remember these, used workbooks. So we have an entrepreneur workbook, and then we have a mentor workbook for people who are working with their kids to get those going. And the kids could be any age under 18, but the sweet spot's sort of 6 to 12 is where we get most of the kids. This year, they have moved completely over to a new app. I happen to have like 200 Lemonade Day workbooks. So if there's somebody who just hates using an app, I can get it to them. But if you want, since I can share my screen, I will show you the video for the new app because it's pretty fancy. Let's see if I can make it. No, I can't make it bigger.
How do kids make money? Whoa! Whoa! What's happening? Huh?
I'm just what? Can you hear this too? Okay.
You should become an entrepreneur. Use My Lemonade Day to start your business. It's designed to help you turn your goal into a plan. And if you work the plan to run your lemonade stand, you'll achieve results to reach your dreams.
So that didn't tell you a lot, but it kind of taught, that is the way the app works, is that Lemmy is sort of the mentor for this little girl in the video, and they go through the whole process of making a goal, you know, finding out where you're going to have your stand, how do you make a budget, how do you think about what you want to do with your money. We always ask kids to do 4 things. National Lemonade Day ask them to do 3, but they really do ask them to do 4. They ask them to spend a little because you worked really hard and you earned it. Save a little for something that's a bigger dream and to teach them financial literacy, and share a little, and really helps kids understand how the business community then can give back to their own community, and recognizes that they can share their funds. And what I really, really love about that part is there are a lot of lemonade stands for an organization. Like, I'm going to have a lemonade stand and I'm going to give all of my money to cancer. I'm going to give all of it to an animal shelter. When you do that, you don't really develop the habits that are lifelong habits of sharing some of your own money. So if you make, and you can do whatever you want with the money that you bring in. We ask you to do those things, but ultimately it's your business, it's your money. Everybody keeps talking about Lemmy's head exploding. I will have to watch it again. I didn't catch that, but it's bothering a lot of people. The thing I like about that is if you bring in $100 and you can give even $5 to an organization you care about, you learn that you can do that for the rest of your life. Whenever you get a paycheck, you could share a little. It's just a whole different mentality. So we have those, so we ask them to do those things. This year, because of COVID, parents have been home with their kids a whole lot. And Lemonade Day, for years, I always say it's like a science fair. It's a great idea until you get into it, and then the parents find out it's a ton more work than they expected. And so this year we partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So those parents who feel like I am just done and I cannot do another big project like this, we will set those kids up with a mentor to work through their business plan with them. We haven't had anybody take advantage of it yet. It seems like people are still finding their own mentors, but we do have that available for them. We're doing workshops every Saturday in Eureka on some of the different steps in the book to get people excited, but it's absolutely not necessary for kids. There's so many resources through the workbooks or through the Lemonade Day app that even if a parent doesn't feel like they are really skilled in running a business, they will be by the time they go through all the process. 1 year we did, so the kids make an average of $100 per stand profit. We have in the last 10 years, they've made about $90,000 in Humboldt County with people buying lemonade. So that is pretty awesome. And this year we're hoping, we always get between 50 and 60 kids. They never sign up till the last minute because, we always say this is Humboldt County. I think that's probably the world. Everybody signs up at the last minute. So we're hoping to get 50 to 60 kids. This year, 3 very, very lucky kids, or kids who are really determined to do well, can actually get a spot at the airport, which is amazing. It does not seem like it should be legal. But, Rex Bone is, when you want something done, all you have to do is give them a call. So it took 5 minutes for us to get a call back from the director of the airport saying that they have some spots available. So I am just thinking, how fun would it be to fly into Humboldt County, get off the airplane, and be greeted by little kids selling you lemonade? I think it's going to be the best thing ever. So if you have any kids who you think are really, affable and good customer service, if they are interested in an airport spot, please send them my way. We're doing a ton of promotion for it. We have great sponsors, media sponsors this year, including the North Coast Journal, which I believe Melissa's here. Lost Coast Communications is promoting it, as well as Kiss FM, Mix 95.1, and KJNY. I don't know what their group is called. So you should be hearing about it all over. And if you're not, then we're not doing our job. Taffy, Big Brothers Big Sisters is helping a ton this year. Taffy Stockton is our coordinator as well. So we are, we're reaching out to a lot of folks and hoping we get lots and lots of kids excited. And I'd really rather have a conversation than just talk at you. So if anybody wants to ask questions or share stories, Denise?
I was just thinking the airport, because we just flew back on Friday with the Velo, and it was hopping. So I'm wondering 2 stands or more. They're strategic. Oh, 3 you're thinking?
I'm hope up to 3. I feel like one stand, the kid will just be totally overwhelmed. So I'm super hoping we get a couple of them.
I love that idea. And what was the day? I didn't get the date.
Oh, I didn't even say it. It's August 14th. So it's almost always the first Saturday in June, which is when you guys have your block party sale. But this year we made it a little bit later, sort of waiting for COVID to be over. So it's going to be August 14th. Melissa?
Gotta unmute yourself, Melissa. I muted you.
Oh, I got muted? I signed up my 2 Susan, and my 7-year-old is already wants to start selling. He's on the app. He's doing it. I would rather have a book. I'm just going to say that the app is a little bit too much for me. I like to write stuff as a business person, flow charts and stuff. But I think it was really cool for me just explaining to my own kids about how you have to have a good spot, you have to be visible, and then telling them about you got to make sure people know where you're going to be. So that's why we advertise in things like the Journal, and it's all like clicking. And my 10-year-old daughter especially, she's like, oh, I'm going to do this. She's like all about the decorations and how to attract people. So I hope other people just really get involved with it. I told Taffy, like, if my kids are excited about it, I hope other people really get their kids involved in it too, because it really does the numbers, and it really makes a difference in the long run for kids.
I always tell kids, if you don't like math, math is most fun when you're counting your own money.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden it's relevant.
That's very true. And I think you have a really interesting location for your lemonade stand, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Melissa?
For all of you Fortuna residents, the Sanderson kids plan to be putting their lemonade stand in front of the chamber office, where there's appropriate seating and good visibility on Main Street. So we cleared it with the executive director, but we think the city manager might be okay with it too. So
Yeah, he jumped off. So we're going to say yes.
Oh, he approved.
I went to my first lemonade stand this year, and I was driving on H or I Street, one of those streets in Eureka that, traffic goes at a pretty quick pace. And I saw these kids with this sign, and I thought, oh, I missed it. And then I looked over and it was just coming up, and I went, oh, they learned something. They know you have to put the sign up and give people time to pull over. So that was very cool. Mike Lucy.
There.
Oh, there he is.
Several years back, I was one of the official tasters of lemonade, and I'll tell you, it was delicious. But I was so full of lemonade at the end. So if you're an official taster, just be ready.
The sugar crash is a real thing.
It is. I don't know how many stands we went to, but there were a lot of them. And I got my fill of lemonade.
I send my VIPs to somewhere between 6 or 8 stands. Rex Bone and I have a sort of informal competition every year. We get between 20 and 23 stands a year. And even if you don't drink, even if you just take a sip and dump it out, it's still just really, it adds up. I do have a friend who brings a thermos and then freezes it and uses it later to make margaritas. So there's a hot tip for you guys.
I wish I'd have thought of that.
Well, you can do it next year.
Yeah, I'll be a judge. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it's super fun. Becky has done it as well. I was going to call on Danny first and then.
Yeah, Danny.
Oh, I just was curious, does the app gives kids an ability to put the location of where their stands are? Is there a way that we can promote people visiting these stands throughout the county?
Yes, we will send out information to all of the registered kids again, and we have it online on our website. And also, Melissa said that the North Coast Journal will print a copy. I would go to totally hope that the kids get their information in for the North Coast Journal. My experience is that they put them on our map until the very last day. So we're going to tell them if they really want to take advantage, get it in on time. And then for my VIPs, I always give them a map too that I pulled from our stand, so they know which ones to go to. Also, another thing, I don't remember who was talking about it, but the kids are so business savvy that their recipes are amazing. So my very favorite recipe ever, I actually called them in the middle of the year for my 50th birthday party and asked if they would make. It was called Breakfast with Bigfoot. It was not a lemonade. It was an iced tea that had lavender, and they used redwood tree fresh nettles to make a simple syrup out of it. Oh, it's my favorite. I ended up buying 2 gallons from a birthday party in October because it was so good.
Yeah, I've had a lavender lemonade. It's delicious. Even just by itself, not even with like iced tea. Lavender, it seems like it would be strange, but it's so good. It's
lavender
really good.
honey. We've had watermelon, we've had jalapeno.
Ooh.
So what's your favorite, Ben, Becky?
Well, I can't remember, but I remember some of the kids more than the lemonade, just because it's amazing. Sometimes it's a family affair, sometimes it's 1 or 2, but it's really fun. I've been a judge, and I just wanted to give a shout out because some sponsors sponsored it this year, helped give a grant for Lemonade Day. And this is just such a perfect thing that sponsors does, supporting kids in our community. So we're pretty proud of that. But it's a great event. You've got to get out and support these kids and just go visit. And it's a fun event. I really appreciate you guys keeping it going. So I know it's had its ups and downs with numbers, but it's really a good event.
It really has not had its up and it is always 50 to 60 stands. Sometimes I think nobody is going to show up and there's 50 or 60. I think a million kids are going to do it. There's 50 or 60. So we'll see if that holds this year as well, but it's very cool.
And what's the partnership you have with, is it the Big Brothers Big Sisters that you're doing with?
Yes, the Big Brothers Big Sisters is helping us to find mentors. So if there's anybody that needs help with mentors, and on top of that, Allie Jones from Allie Illuminates and Lori Davis from Tri-Counties Bank will be offering their mentoring services. So we're going to put their emails and phone numbers out there. So kids, if they want help with budgeting specifically, or if they want help with marketing specifically, they can just call and have a one-on-one little advising session with those guys. If anybody wants to be an advisor for kids, we could put them on the list. My honest thing, they're probably not going to call you. But I like knowing that it's out there. We also noticed when we did some research, the kids who did all of the activities, participated in workshops, made more money than the kids who didn't, which really is the same as when kids are adults, or when adults are having businesses, when they participate in chambers, when they go to classes at SBDC, when they actually write out their business plan, they do better than the ones that don't. And so the kids are learning that lesson early.
Denise, did you have another question?
Do you have I don't know what kind of numbers you've had before down in the River Valley. What would you anticipate this year?
You know, the first year it was amazing. And then Fortuna's kind of, I think that it tends to happen when the kids have a lot of activities going on. So it's slowed down the last few years. I also have a theory that kids that are really involved in like FFA and those programs that teach a lot of entrepreneurship don't do this as much because they kind of have already got that. But we always have about 10 to 12 in Fortuna area. If you drive around, you'll see plenty, and you can always go on the map and find them as well.
I have a sweet story. It wasn't Lemonade Day, but there was a little guy around the corner this last 6, 7, 8 months. And he was raising money to buy a new Matchbox car. They had all his cars laid out. And I was just like, go, little man. I mean, just like you talked about, he was saving up for something that he wanted, you know? And how can you bypass that?
We really try to get the kids to start with that mentality. Like, this is what I want to do with the money. So I'm going to set a goal. And that kind of helps them figure out how much they need to sell and how much effort do they need to make. And how many kids am I willing to split the money with if I have a bunch of friends helping me and things like that. And they get pretty dang savvy. We've had kids we have one kid who had a fabulous stand, and then he got a little old for it, and he actually passed it down to his sister. He had a training year where he taught her all the business stuff that he'd set up, and now she has a fabulous stand. We have a couple of ambassadors who we try to bring to events to teach other kids what they have gone through, and you know, how they've picked their recipes or how they've done their marketing, so they can learn from kid to kid. So they say in the Innovate Business competition at the high school level that they can always tell the Lemonade Day kids that they're just far more sophisticated. And I always like to throw this in, and they say, and a little arrogant. They like come in and they feel pretty confident in their business skills, which is kind of funny.
Well, are there any other questions or comments?
Or any other member announcements? Becky, did you have anything you wanted to announce?
Sorry, guys, I've been running back and forth. We've got water problems at home, so I have a crew out here, and I'm trying to feed them and listen to this. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the 150 people that showed up to carry flags in the parade. We were overwhelmed. We were worried not to get 100, and they just kept coming. And we had quite a cross section of people, and I think it looked pretty cool. I was in front, so I couldn't see if they were all back there, but I think they were. So yay for the community, and we'll be back in the next 100 years and see if we can do, 200 flags. So not in my lifetime, but anyway, shout out to the community. Thanks, Bailey.
Yeah, it looked really great. And when we drove by, I snapped a couple of pictures when you guys were all bunched up at Hummel. So that was, it was great to see. It was really nice. Good job. The parade was fabulous. All right. Anything else for Mayor Seaman before we let her go, or any other announcements from the public? No? Great. All right, Bailey, you want to close this out?
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday.
Yeah, we'll see everybody in person August 2nd. So no meeting again next week, because I hopefully, wish me luck, will not be called to jury duty. Hopefully. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. Appreciate it. We're looking forward to Lemonade Day. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, it's great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.